whenever we design a web application, it is always best to design in a responsive way. Now, what is a responsive design? I could key in Command Shift and C in Mac, or you could do a right click, inspect, and then go for these options. You could disable this. Now, this is how it looks in iPhone 14 Pro Max. And this is how it looks in Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. And you could also change the orientation. So this is how you would see in different screens or different devices. Now, you must always think about having the same code, but it has to look well in all the devices, all the screen. So same piece of HTML and CSS, but it has to look well in all the devices, no matter if it is a different laptop, a bigger monitor, or say it's a mobile or a tab. Now just look at this. Now we're actually looking at a landscape mode. A landscape mode looks decent because in the landscape mode, width is larger than height. It's the same case in laptops. But if you change it to portrait mode, the width is smaller than height. So the reason I am calling this width and height disparity is because look at the height, right? So the width is more here, and the height is less. But if you change it to portrait mode again, like how you see in your smartphones, the width is less. But in smartphones, you obviously won't take this much of a space for a header, right? So it doesn't make any sense. So just keep this in mind that the piece of code, the HTML, CSS you use will be the same for all the devices. So your piece of code should adapt for different screen size and different devices. Now you see that there is a huge space here. So this is not the right way to design a page. So this page should look appropriately in a smartphone. So how we do that is what is called as a responsive design. And this responsive design evolved over the period of time. So initially we used something called media queries, and then now it has evolved to viewport units. So media queries is not a good practice at all. I would want you to avoid it at any cost, but we'll also see how the media queries work in the next session. But before that, you have to understand how to reach out to this section where you could change to different devices. Now, Chrome will provide these, like it's providing the most popular devices over here. So iPhone 14 Pro Max is here. iPhone 15 is not yet here. You also have a responsive option where you could change it on a custom size. So you could keep changing this and see. So if you don't have an iPhone 15 over here, you could always key in iPhone 15's resolution and see how it works. So this is how you would verify whether a website is responsive or not. Let's take this site. I'm not sure if IMDb is responsive, but looks like it is responsive. See, it looks well even on a iPhone 10 or iPhone 14 Pro Max, but they could do even better. See, this looks well. I think only the photo section they have to do better. Yeah. So always think about doing a responsive design, again having the same code to be delivered in all the devices.